everyone, it's Cirque, and after a bit of a break, I am back making videos, and I have a lot of very fun things to show you that I'm very excited about. First up this week, we have not one, not two, but 3 books about the SCP Foundation. I got these from ParaBooks off of Kickstarter, where they were trying to fund their special reprints of their SCP Foundation books in paperback. They were printed in hardcover the first time, but they wanted to make them available again to people that might have missed them and make a version that's a little cheaper, and I got them, of course. They are very beautiful. I love the art on them. I love SCP because as someone who's very into folklore and mythology and urban legends, I was very drawn to creepypastas and SCPs because they're sort of the internet's version of mythology, and we are creating a culture together, creating these creatures, creating the stories about them, and I can't wait to see how creepypastas and the SCP continues to flourish over time. Now, I opened the red journal, so let's take a little look inside. So these look very official. They look very much like the sorts of documents that the SCP Foundation website tries to imitate. We have some redactions, we have some beautiful art of the SCPs, and I can't wait to read these. It'll be very fun, and it'll be a bit easier for me to read them since I can just sit down and just read a bunch of them all at once instead of having to pick and choose which ones I want to read from the website and possibly getting sidetracked. So on the front of the red journal, we have the Plague Doctor, and then I'm sorry I can't remember off the top of my head what these two are, but we have the yellow journal with this SCP with all these teeth and a tongue, and then the black journal with this screaming creature. I want to say this is the old man, but I don't think it actually is. Although I like SCPs, I'm not an expert on them. I just enjoy reading about them when I have the chance, and there are a few here and there that I enjoy. So I thought getting these would be a great way to expand my knowledge of them. But as anyone who has funded a Kickstarter knows, the books aren't the only things that I got. I paid a little bit extra for a few other little goodies, and I also got some stretch goals as well. So let's see those. First up, we had 2 kind of simple stretch goal prizes, though still exciting in my opinion. We have this top secret bookmark, which I will be adding to my collection, and I think is very cute. Even though it's not the fanciest bookmark in the world, it's still something that I am very excited to have, and I'll definitely be using this when I read my SCP books. It has a nice vinyl texture to it. It's not just plain paper, it has a little bit of stiffness to it, so hopefully that holds up to my purposes. And then we also got this nice classified data laptop sticker, although I don't have room for it on my laptop, so I'll probably put it on something else, probably the external hard drive I've been using lately. And moving on to some of the bigger items, we have these postcards with some of the art from the book and some of the SCPs that I'll be reading about when I begin to look through my books. We have The World's Gone Beautiful, The Scarlet King, The Black Moon, and The Gate Guardian. So I haven't read these in detail, but I did skim over them when I first got them. So these all have kind of a end of the world feel to them, so that's a nice theme, nice and cohesive. And I noticed that they're all marked SCP-1, so I'm interested in seeing whether that's their actual numbers, if there's actually more than one SCP-1. I think I've heard of The World's Gone Beautiful before, from someone I talked to online in the past, but I'm excited to learn more about all 4 of them to see why they're all marked 1, or if that was just a printing thing and they all have different numbers in reality. And similarly, I also received 3 cards from ParaBooks upcoming SCP. Oh, sorry. I have a fan going, so the plastic's going a little crazy. From ParaBooks' upcoming SCP trading card game. So we have the Plague Doctor again, on London, and the Red Sea Object. And we have some symbols on these. Some symbols tell us what kind of SCP they are, I believe, and also their strength or the effect that they're going to have in the larger card game. The back is just a regular SCP symbol, so I'm interested in seeing what more they do with this game, and I'm on the lookout for the next project to hopefully get more of these cards. And then we're moving into some of the bigger items that I'm very excited about. We have this coin that is Keter on one side and safe. I was going to say most likely safe on their side, but I wanted to check before I actually said it. So we have safe and Keter, and it's in this nice plastic case to keep it nice. And I'll probably just keep this somewhere safe as a display piece, but if you were into role-playing, this would be a good item to use for a D2, where the safe is the favorable option and Keter's the unfavorable option. Or there's probably lots of other uses you could find for this besides just looking at it, but it's beautiful, it's high quality, shiny. The printing is very clear. You can tell that they put a lot of hard work and care into making this. Oops. Try to keep that in frame so you can continue looking at it. And our next item is one that I believe anyone who has even a passing knowledge of the SCP Foundation will recognize. We have the statue in an acrylic standee. And this is a bit of a larger acrylic standee. It's probably my second largest one, with my largest one being more of an art piece than a classic standee. So this is my biggest standee figure. Can I get it in? It's being a little difficult, so I'll have to work a little bit more to get him in, but it's nice and thick. The artwork is very nice. Some of you might be aware that there was a bit of a controversy with the original artwork of the statue, so this is one of the newer interpretations that doesn't use the original artwork, but you can still definitely tell what it's meant to be. And once I figure out, oh, okay. Oh, there we go. I got it in. Alright, and that will be a very nice addition to my desk, so I can see my little friend, the statue, whenever I want. So he's just going to sit there while I continue. And these next items are ones that are very exciting for me, and you'll see why if you have been watching any more of my videos. We have some pins. We have a Plague Doctor pin, which I'm extra excited about because in addition to being a new addition to my pin collection, I am very much into Plague Doctors. I have lots of items with Plague Doctor themes and Plague Doctor images on them, and not just the SCP, but just the historical plague doctors as well. And then we also have a set of 3 SCP Foundation buttons. We have Euclid, Safe, and Keter, so the 3 main designations of SCP. So that will be very fun. I can add that to my collection of pins, and I don't want to go into it too much here because it doesn't really pertain directly to SCP, but when I got these pins, I actually got a idea for an art piece, possibly a cosplay as well in the future, so we'll see if that actually becomes anything or if it just stays in my head. And our final item is one that is probably the most anticipated stretch goal of this campaign. We have issue 1 of the SCP comic series. This issue is called We Who Poke with Sticks. Oops, my statue fell over. And just getting the comic book to begin with was one stretch goal, and the campaign then raised enough money to have it printed in color. So we have a very nice comic book. I actually got very excited while I was waiting to film this video because I got most of my extra items first and then my books later. So I've already read this. It's very interesting. It's a little bit of a background on what it's like to work for the SCP Foundation, about how they do their research, how they designate the SCPs, and if I remember correctly, the main character is the one in charge of the investigations and the one that tells the Class Ds that are assigned to it what to do. And it was very interesting to read. I read it all in one sitting, and I loved it. I can't wait to see what they do with the rest of the series. And as you saw before, the artwork is beautiful, very clear. You get a good look at the SCP that they're investigating without it being too horrifying or unclear. I think it's a good way to show how scary and weird it is without being off-putting to people that might not be quite as much into horror as some of us are. But this was definitely a very exciting piece of the campaign that I loved, and I think I read it the day I got it because I was just so excited about it. But that is the last of our items, so I'll give you one last look at those before I put them away and finish my video. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that you find lots of fun things to read, whether it be something spooky like an SCP document or a creepypasta, or just a fun book or article that catches your interest. And I hope that I get to see you again soon.